brings expectations of a new disaster. The sweet cliché, everything will be alright, no longer works. Pain is a dish you eat alone. It's having periods of plutonious eating followed by sharp transitions to fasting. It's when you have no concentration, no memory, and no patience. When the phone rings and the computer nags and you don't know why or what for. Pain is the realization that life is continuing without you. To return from the dead means deciding deliberately that despite everything you must continue to live. With your last strength you discover hidden talents. With the remainder of your energy you try and influence the country to make just a bit better. It's an unbearable thought that it is for unworthy country that my beautiful smart boy is laying dead in the ground. Now, I know I read a few things here that some of them are pretty harsh, either in criticism or either in things they say. And I know that myself, I can go over each war in our history and say critical things about it. Was it a war that we needed to go for, or was it a war that we didn't need to go for? What was the meaning of this war? And I always ask myself when I come to these places, I ask myself, is this a just cause? Did these people die for a just cause? And I've been asking this question now, believe me, for years. If they've been dying for just causes. And I came to one conclusion. The conclusion is that I'm not to say if they died for a just cause. The only people who can say that are the people in here, if they believe in what they died for. And some people die the most heroic deaths, either for the sake of their friends. We hear the stories about people jumping over grenades. We hear the story about medics taking fire for people that got wounded. And on the other side, you see the most horrible stories of death, of the most useless death, of soldiers by mistake shooting each other during war. People just going to the bathroom and going on a mine, okay? Not every death is a heroic death. And I always ask myself, and I'm addressing this question to you, not for you to answer, but for you to think of. What is my just causes? Do I have these things in life I tell to myself, this is something I will put my life for? The most amazing thing in the history of this, at some point of time, at some point of combat, that they had these ideals, their morals, their guidelines, call it however you want to call it, values. But for these values they made a choice, and the hardest choice of everything. The choice is to die. And this is a strong thing to think about. Am I just a leaf in water, and life takes me wherever it takes me and I don't control over my life? Or I have control. I have my guidelines. I have my borders. I know who I am. I know where I'm going. I know that even if I don't know, I'm looking for it. Am I passive in my life, or am I active? What do I do? That's what I go with when I come to this cemetery. How do I live my life? And I try sometimes to take examples. Okay? I hear the stories, growing up on these stories. I think for many people in Israel, it's an inspiration many times. And I just wish for you guys that after this trip it will inspire you enough for you to decide these things, for you to decide for yourselves what are your just causes. Not that I'm saying now you're going off to war and you have to make these big decisions. You're going back to life, okay? To your day-to-day life, to your work, to your studies, to your families. But things, your ideas, your views can change. And I just hope you learn from these stories.